Okay, it should be coming on. I had to set the timer. I'm going back to the main camera. Hi, it's Everett. Everett's Watercolors was simply drawing with Everett at 7:30 this evening, Eastern Standard Time. And I'm broadcasting live to LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and later on in Instagram. And in my studio tonight with my wife, Gloria.
Hi.
And she'll be monitoring the chat room and also the broadcast. The chat room's live, so if you have any comments during the broadcast, give me a question or a comment, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And even after the broadcast, you can send me comments on the video in the comments below. Tonight we'll do a drawing, of course, and I'm going to go over to my drawing table, and let's get started. So these are the samples I've done already. We're going to do small boats tonight. You can see that different sizes, different shapes, and different directions. So let me show you my reference diagram. I'm going to draw this boat here and these two boats. The reason I did that, this is like a side view, and this is like a face-on view, which is like it has because of the perspective of it, it gives a foreshortened view of a boat. So I'm going to draw these two boats tonight on regular drawing paper. And my supplies, I'm going to use a number 2 pencil, just a number 2, and then later on I'm going to put in the black ink with my fountain pen. So let me get started. The first thing I do is in all drawings, let me line this up for you, is I get the general size. So looking at the starting here, I usually start at the bow of the boat. So I'm going to start over here that'll be the one point I have, and I see the angle. I see the angle of that side. So I'm going to make a few guideline marks here. And the other side, try to get an angle of that one. It starts to separate a little bit. Get some marks on there. Now I have to decide how long I'm going to make the boat. I'm going to make it a little bit larger than the reference there. I'm going to make it a little bit longer. And now the back edge of the boat, the stern, is here, and it's got a little dip to it, little notch. And the boat here, I can see the angle there. It goes down about like that, and there's an angle here, and I get the bottom of the boat while I'm here. It's sitting in the water, so it'll be a little bit shorter there. Okay, now let me get the seats. Now I got this foreground on the front of the boat, and there's a seat here, about a third of the way down. Third of the way down from here to here is about this first, so a third of this would be about right here. And then the seat, the angle, that's pretty sharp. And then the other one's about almost between there and there is about halfway. Between this seat and here is about halfway. And get that angle just about the same, almost parallel. Okay, all right, I got that. Now I'll get the bow. And the bottom of the boat. It's parallel with the top, but it goes down into the water here, so I'll indicate that also. And then here, because it's in the water, it's going to have a little edge on it, like that. And shoreline, maybe I can put a couple marks in there showing the shoreline. Now it's got a ridge, it's got a rib along the side here. Put that in. Okay, that's enough to get that one. That kind of identifies that boat there. So I got the first one in. And I'm going to go ahead and start and get this one in over here. Okay, now dimension wise it's pretty close to this one, so I'm going to come in about right there and then get that curve in. That's got a curve coming around because it's foreshortened, because we're looking at this the boat head on. Get that curve there, and then across the stern, the back of the boat, stern, got a curve to it. Then this curve around the edge here. So using contour drawing, I'm looking at the drawing there, and I'm making a mark where I think it will go. Just almost go to the corner of the page here. Okay, now inside, I get that. It's curved. Now this seat here is pretty far forward, so I'm going to put that right in here. It goes in about partially way in, and this one's about that section here, about halfway again between that and the stern. Get that set up. Now the back, the stern of the boat here has got a little angle, a little curve to it, so I'll put that in. And you can see here at the bottom, it's got a little shape to it. That's the keel of the boat. It goes around to the other side. That's got a little bit of side edge here, a side on the side of the boat, so I'll put that in. Go right down here to the bottom. Okay, I got that. Okay, that's a rough. That's a rough. This is also a reflection. I got to put a little reflection in here. It's got a little reflection. Just a rough reflection. This has also got a reflection down here. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my pen, and I'm going to get a ink pen mark on the. I use the pencil as my guide. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the detail in with the pen. So I'm going to use the same lines that I started with. This one had a start at the bow. It's got a curve to it here, the bow. Then it starts to curve. Now it starts to dip a little bit. It has a little, and it starts to level out toward the stern. Okay. Now the other side, we can get this one. This bows out just a little bit. More of a curve on this side. More of a curve. And it starts to curve up. Now the stern, I got the angle okay, so we got this edge here. It has a little cut back here, little cut. Okay, and then this side here goes across. I'll get this seat in. The back seat. Okay, now I get the back, the stern of the boat, the back here, and this line down here. I get the bow. I drew it in with a pencil, so I pretty well know where I want to put my mark. A little curve to that, and then it has a nice little curve at the bottom. Down to the water. There's a little water line here, so just going to put that in a curvy indicating water, just a little wavy sign, a little wave sign there. Let's go across here. Okay, now let's get some dimension, let's get some detail on the inside. There's a railing on the top of this. So I'll get that edge of the boat. There's a railing. It goes along this edge of the boat. And also has one over here on this side. I'll bring that down here. That's the edge of the body inside. There's also an edge here on the back, and this has a little dip to it. There. Okay. Now there's a rib line along the side there. So there's an edge. There's a board that goes here on the inside. Right there. And now it has some ribs coming down. I'm going to put a couple of those in. So I start with the one next to the seat here. And I start to curve as I go down to the bottom of the boat. This one here is one back here. There's one here. There's one back here. Just enough of them to show that there's a little dimension to this boat here. And then toward the bottom of the boat there. And then there's some sort of there's a little mark up here. Shows the mark. Also, I see a couple anchor. I see a couple row. We put the oars. There's one over here. Put on this side. Okay. All right. Then there's a couple marks here. Boards of the side of the boat. Just rough, showing that there's a little bit of structure there made out of wood. Okay, that's enough detail on that. Now let's get some detail on this one over here. Starting with a curve, coming down there. Getting the outside curve now. Outside curve, I'm coming around. Now get the inside curve. Coming around. And this is much shorter because we're looking at it at an angle. There's the bow over here, and then it curves around this way. And this also curves. And this comes across the top. There's the back, the stern. I'll get a little dimension here. Oh, can't see what I'm doing. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I'm getting the stern of the bow or the end of the boat here. Getting the back end here. And there's a keel under here. Okay. Now I'll get the seats in. Okay. Now there's a couple boards, a couple also ribs on this one also. Ribs or structure of the boat. and these curve down into the bottom. And then there's some boards that run the length of the boat, so I'll put those in. These are boards at the bottom. I'll indicate a couple of those. Okay. Then this is made out of wood also. I'll make a couple lines across here. And there's a side of the boat here, which I'll put a little edge on this. Down to the bottom. Okay. All right. I'll set that down for a moment. Okay, now let's see. Let's try, maybe put some shading in here now. So I'll take my my 2B pencil, or my 4B pencil, and my stump. Take my 4B pencil and a stump, get some shading in. And you can see here's a little shading on here at the bottom, so I'll put that in. There's a little shadow here. Now this will give a little dimension to the drawing. By putting shading in, it'll give a little bit of depth to it. And there's a shadow under the seat here. Which goes across. So the shadow gives us a hint to where the sun is, where the light's coming from. This looks like it's got just the sun is overhead. There's not really too much of an angle to it. It might be coming from the front, but it's overhead in the front of the boat. That's where the sun is. Because I can see the shadow on the back here, so we'll put that in. So that shows the direction of light. So we'll put that in there. And then there's a reflection in the water of that shadow. And if this is a white boat, I can put indicate here a little bit of the water pattern. And on this one over here, I've got a shadow on the back of this boat. I can see it here. I can see here in the reference photo. And this has all got shadow inside this interior part. This is all in shadow. And this has got a little bit of, we got a reflection here in the water, which is a shadow. I'll put that in. There's a reflection in the water. And the water itself down here, if this is a white boat, I can go around this also and put a little bit of shadow. The water pattern behind this was got some waves to it and so forth. Okay. And the rest of the shadow from the water will be all up to here between the boats. It'll all be shadowed in around the edge. So I'll give a little dimension to the figures. Okay. Now let's go ahead now. I'm going to use the blender now, and the blender, the stump blender, smooths out the pencil lines. So So I'll go back here and use the blender to smooth out these lines and get some of the water pattern in there. The shadow on this other small boat over here. Okay, so far this is where we are on the drawing. Okay, I got the two is a rowboat, another boat over here, and I've got them shaded in, and I got pretty well got the shapes, and the dimension, and the angle. One of them is facing this sideways. This one's made more or less foreshortened because of the angle we're shooting at. Now what I can do now, I'd like to be able to add some more detail here, and I think I'll do that. These are the main point of attraction is the boats. But now I can go ahead, maybe draw on some of the landscape here. So let's go ahead and see if we can let's go ahead and put the wharf in. I got a wharf back here. So there's a pole that runs down here. I'll put that in. And there's another pole way out here, a little bit taller. So I'm just following the photo reference. This comes on down into near the boat. And then this one has a angle more or less like this. I won't draw all this in detail, I'll just have enough on here so we have a little reference of where we're standing. Now this, from here, it goes almost to the side here, so I've got to put this in. It goes just beyond the bow over here of this boat, so I can kind of rough that in, the edge of the dock. Just roughing that in, and then there's a pole here. Short one. Put that in. Over here is another one. A short one. We have one here. And there's one here on this side, next to the boat. A little taller. There's one more, another short one up here. Okay, on the other side up here, it starts out here wide, then it gets narrow because it's coming across the top here. Further away, it's going to be shorter, going to come closer together. And over here is some grass on the side, which indicates some grass. And so there's part of the pier has got the connecting poles. There's more lumber structure. There's another cross beam over here. Put that in. Behind here is part of this other post coming down into the water. This one's coming down into the water. Not much detail. Okay. Just rough those in. I don't want to spend too much time on the pier, but just to indicate a little bit of the atmosphere. using the side of the pencil to shade in, using a number 2 pencil, just to put some graphite down on the paper. Maybe I'll pick up a number 2 pencil, get a little darker lid. And this is just water back here in the background. I'm going to leave the pier white because it's the lightest part of the drawing. Okay, and take my stump now and just kind of rough this in. Again, the stump will smooth out the pencil lines. Fill in some of the spaces. Smoothing that graphite out. Okay. Okay, well, I've taken this photograph here, this picture of reference, and I've drawn the boats on there that I think is very interesting. I think this would be something you can find boats in a magazine article or on the internet, or you can also find boats in the water now, near the docks and so forth. And boats are very interesting items to draw. But it's the shape and also the angle you're looking at, a side view or a foreshortened view when you're just looking at the end of it, say the back side looking toward the front. Okay, I thought this was very good. I think started out with a pencil and added the pen and ink to it to give a little more dimension. So all I had tonight was the boats were in pen to give them a little more definition. Then I added a pencil line to give it a little more character to the drawing. So that finishes my drawing exercise for the boat. Let's go back to my main camera. And I think we got everything going tonight. Yeah. Okay. Main camera. Okay. Everett's Watercolors had another simply drawing whatever had another interesting drawing tonight. I love boats, and I've drawn a lot of them. I like to draw them. I draw all kinds of boats, sailboats. These had to be simple rowboats, but they're fun to draw. And you can find pictures of them, or you can find them actually out there in real life to find some boats and draw them. They're a lot of fun. So I hope you try those. That's interesting. And if you want to share with me on my Facebook channel, facebook.com, you can go on there, Everett Watercolors Art Group, and you can share that with my online art group on Facebook. You can also give me a comment and submit me some information about any questions you may have on YouTube and on Facebook. So
Everett Watercolors Art Group.
Yeah, Everett Watercolors Art Group on Facebook. Okay, well, that was the drawing I finished tonight. I hope you enjoyed that. Give me a thumbs up and a like. It helps with my rating. Appreciate that. I'll be back again next week at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and hope to see you then. And also, I'll be back on Thursday afternoon at 2 p.m. with Everett Watercolors. That's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 7:30 Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. On Sunday, I put out that anyone can draw one line only, and you might enjoy tuning in on that one. If you're registered, if you're signed up or subscribed to my channel, you'll be notified of all these live videos. So I'll see you next week. You all stay safe and stay warm. It's getting cool out there.